Now let's move on to the summary of the framework. The author mentions that his approach for analyzing textbooks has roots in cultural studies, and the idea that textbooks can be seen not simply as curriculum artifacts but also as cultural artifacts or communicative acts. Having that in mind, the focus of the research is to identify which are the representational repertoires related to the world of work. The textbooks being analyzed are examples of global textbooks, which means that their aim is the global market and are consumed primarily by the global commercial sector. But they are also used in colleges, university language centers, and some state schools. However, these materials are constantly being criticized because of their pedagogical shortcomings and the selective representational repertoires being used. In total, there were 10 textbooks used for the analysis. Some of those are New Hedwig Advanced, New Cutting Edge Intermediate, Building Strategies, and the New Cambridge English Course 2. These textbooks have been selected because they are globally recognized as major global bestsellers. The approach for identifying the representational repertoires was initially content analysis. The aim was to count the number of units that used the topic of work. Later on the research, a more qualitative measure was used, with the aim of identifying the correlations that exist between the representations of the workplace and the values associated with the new capitalism.
And framework have been explained in detail. Now it is necessary to ask ourselves how this framework can be helpful to understand learning materials. And we believe that the framework is very handy if you want to understand learning materials that are used in today's world, since it provides an analysis and examples of how these textbooks show the updated economic system that is widely affecting a major part of the world. This is our point of view because we have learned that these global texts are cultural artifacts that help understand, depict, or preserve certain social conventions, customs, or constraints. Therefore, this framework helps to understand learning materials as cultural artifacts that function as aids to conserve and foster the ideologies proposed by the new capitalism or neoliberalism, which are represented with key features that we've already exposed. For example, new capitalist values presented in textbooks, units in textbooks with a myriad of work-related topics, or the new style of branding oneself in order to elicit characteristics that match with the global market. However, we have also identified that this framework helps us understand learning materials as hegemonic tools, which impose a set of economic rules and values to language learners. For example, students are taught that only popular jobs are important and valuable. Besides, it is important to recognize that this framework normally serves as a representation of this capitalist culture, but it was not critical about it. So the framework does not offer opportunities to criticize this culture imposition upon the different cultures that are present in every corner of the world. So the underlying question is whether or not we will use this framework to analyze textbooks, and the answer will be yes, but adding the critical aspect to it.